Hi, it's Reverend Stephanie Denise. I hope that you are having a great day. I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about this thing called empty nest. There's a lot of us who are experiencing this right now. And tonight's title or today's title is Guiding Your Children into Adulthood from Afar. Guiding your children into adulthood from afar. So many of us have adult children who are away at college or who have been recruited by companies and are across the country at jobs or just backpacking across Europe right about now. So, how do we continue to guide our children so that they make the right choices as they are young adults moving into adulthood, adulting? So I want to start with, as parents, it is a journey. Raising our children doesn't end when they leave. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Reverend Stephanie Denise, and I am a retired school teacher. I taught for more than 20 years. I got into real estate as an investor and was able to retire myself from the classroom. Also, the mother of twins, an author, and was a pastor for 7 years. So I come to you with only the experiences that I've had, right? I'm only an expert on that which I've been through. So all of this knowledge that I share is just from things that I've gone through. And as I meet people and talk to other people, they're having some of these same life journeys that I'm experiencing. So I love to just share, right? I come from a teaching background, so that's kind of what I do. So again, guiding our children into adulthood from afar, what does that look like? So the journey of children, being a parent, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop when they leave the nest, right? When they leave home. In fact, it transitions into this whole new phase, right? And sometimes we're not even ready for this new phase, but this new phase is one where guidance and support are just as crucial for our children, if not more so. Proverbs 22:6 serves as a timeless reminder that the foundation that you've laid in your children's life will continue to shape them as they grow older. So that's very important to understand and to know, right? So we're supposed to train up our children in the way that they should go, right? And then when they're old, they're not going to depart from those ways. And even if they get a little off track, they'll come back. They'll come back to those teachings. Navigating the waters of adulthood can be daunting. Even for us as adults, we've been doing it for a long time. And sometimes there are situations that we come upon that are daunting. So for young adults, you know that it's even more crucial. Our role as parents remains pivotal, right? We have to provide them with the tools and the wisdom that they need so that they can thrive. We don't want our children just out there surviving. We want our children thriving. So that means that we have to provide them with the tools. We have to provide them with the wisdom so that they'll understand and know how to move forward. While physical distance might separate you and your children, the bond between kids and their parents, right? So that bond between parent and child transcends any geographical boundaries. That's really important to know. It's been many, many years since I've been in college, but I know that when I was doing my undergrad work, I moved from Seattle, which is my hometown, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, right? And so that was a long way away from home. And the bond that I had with my parents was so important, and that was able to sustain me and help me as I went through being that far, 3,000 miles from home. So understand that you are still needed. You still have a role to play, even though they may be across the country or an hour away or 3 hours away, right? There's still work to do. So this is why communication becomes key in guiding your children into this next phase of adulthood, right? So as they're far away, they still need to have that connection with you. It's still crucial So what does that connection look like? Of course, regular check-ins, whether that be through phone calls or video chats or messages. All of these things offer opportunities for you to be able to share experiences with them, and also offer advice, right? But not judgmental advice, right? Be open. Be open. I always say to approach everything with an open heart, right? And it seems that that just makes everything a lot better. So this is the time for you to offer advice, and or just simply be present, right? Be a listening ear. Sometimes at this point in this stage in life, our children just need to know that we hear them, right? So be a listening ear. And not only be a listening ear during this time, because that's very, very important, but also understand that any advice that you give, let it be encouraging, right? Because words of encouragement can support our kids, and words of encouragement can serve as a beacon of strength for our kids, because they're facing a lot of uncertainty and doubt. They're coming across new situations, and they're having to navigate those new situations. And sometimes, there is fear, trepidation, doubt that accompanies this life season for them. And so it's really important that we can be kind of like that voice of reason, but also that one who has a listening ear as they go through this time. The other thing that's important is to remember that your guidance along the way, it doesn't have to be like prescriptive, right? Just because you did something one way, that it doesn't mean that they have to do it the same way, because they're individuals. And part of adulting is becoming an individual. Sometimes when I talk to other parents who are empty nesters, the thing that seems to be a point of contention is that many times parents, especially college, parents want their children to major in the area that they want them to major in it. They want them to do this way because they did it that way, right? But the reality is, whatever worked for us, whatever was the prescriptive method for us, that does not mean that that's the method for our children, especially because we're in a whole new generation, right? These kids have come through COVID and other things, right? We're older, so some of the things that we had to go through were nothing like what these kids have had to experience in their lifetime. And so, yes, maybe we came through poverty, maybe we came through broken family, maybe we came through some, unfortunate incidences that may have happened with family members or with people close to the family. And we came through those things, but that was a little bit different. We didn't have social media. We didn't have the level of technology that we have today. Definitely, we had not had a pandemic at that time. Right. So these kids are equipped a little bit differently. And so we need to make sure that they are thriving, and we need to make sure that they are heard in the midst of everything they're going through. Sometimes they have a little bit more, they're a little more anxiety laden, I would say. In our era, it was more like, you know what, just tough it up. You can get through it. Be strong. Right. But these kids, some of them are a little bit more empathetic, a little more sensitive, right? A little bit more feeling, just because of the times that we're in. And so we need to understand that it's up to us to be that listening ear as they might be facing a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of doubt. Also, remember that your guidance, right? It doesn't have to be harsh, right? They don't need harsh. They're going to make some mistakes, right? We all make mistakes, right? And if we remember the word of God, right? For all have fallen short of the glory. So we all make mistakes, and that's a lot of times how we learn, is through our mistakes. And if you make a mistake and it's not so good and you're able to recover from it, more than likely you won't make that mistake again. And so we have to give them grace, right? It's okay. You can have a gentle nudge for them, a gentle nudge in the right direction. That's okay. But always remember that listening ear, because that is a source of comfort for our kids, right? They need to be heard. They need to be heard. And that's all right, because we want to be heard. we want to be heard, right? Not even just in our household, but on our jobs. And when we're dealing with others in the community, we want our voice to be heard. So we need to extend that same courtesy to our children. They face challenges and they will face challenges. And they will have to make decisions that they haven't had to make before. They will have to navigate life's twists and turns, right? It's like a rite of passage. We all have to navigate life's twists and turns. So they have to navigate those twists and turns, but knowing that they have you in their corner, right? Knowing that they have a parent who believes in them, and knowing that they have a parent that stands by them, that can make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. So you have a job to do, right? Your job, right? Be that listening ear. Give gentle nudges. Be encouraging, right? And that will make a difference. Embrace this new chapter of parenting. It's a beautiful thing. Embrace it with an open heart, as I said before, and a willingness to adapt to the changing dynamics. It's not always easy. And I'm coming from experience, you know. My children go to the twins go to two different universities, and so they're apart from one another. And you know, they show up. Luckily their schools are, you know, only about an hour away each, so you know they do show up at home. And I always tell them, you know, that you're always welcome, even though they live on campus. And one lives on campus and one lives near the campus. But I tell them all the time, they're always welcome. They have a key. They know where I am, you know. And for them, that helps them. I know that when I was about their age, many of my family members live in a town called Fresno, California. And so once I moved to the Bay Area, I went to Cal State East Bay, which was Cal State Hayward. But I went there for my undergrad and my teaching credential and my administrative credential. And as I was matriculating through school, I know there were many weekends when I just wanted to go see my grandparents. And I jumped in the car, and even though it was 3 hours away, it was worth it, because knowing that I had family there close by made all the difference in the world. And so sometimes, you know, we have to know, even though our children are growing up, even though they are adults, sometimes they just need a comfy place to come, a familiar place to come and reset. And for me, going to Fresno, that was a place to reset, because as I said, I grew up in Seattle, but I always spent summers as well as Christmas holidays with my grandparents in Fresno. And so that, knowing I could just jump in the car and drive down and see them, that was a joy. I'd reset, and then I come on back and I do what I have to do, and you know, go back to school and be able to be focused. And so know that sometimes you just need to be a soft place to land for your kids, and that's okay. And so when you have that willing heart to be there for them, your love and your guidance and your unwavering support will continue to shape them and will continue to nurture your children as they embark on the journey into adulthood. It's a beautiful journey, but it can be challenging for both sides, for parents as well as for our young adult children. So as I wrap this up, I just want to remind you to trust in the foundation that you've built. Trust in the foundation that you've built for your children. Stay connected to your kids and be a constant source of love and encouragement to them. It will make all the difference in the world. And as your children spread their wings, they'll be able to soar. As they spread their wings, they'll be able to soar, because they know that you have their back. You love them and you're there for them. And even in the mistakes, you're still there for them. So these were just a few little tidbits about guiding your children into adulthood from afar. And don't forget about yourself, because as you're guiding them, make sure that you are taking care of yourself, right? Because this is a new season. This is that empty nest season. You get to share the wisdom years that you have with your children, but also you get to explore the things that are important to you. So I always say, definitely, this is the time. Walk in faith, find your purpose, and abundance will follow. And be blessed. Thank you for listening and taking the time with me this evening. God bless.